The woman never could have seen this coming. Sung Jinwoo was going to save her. He did the unthinkable right in front of White Tiger. He ripped the soul of White Tiger's dear friend straight out of his body. So when the healer appeared before the crowd in a brand new form, every single person there gasped in shock. The healer, now turned into a shadow, suddenly turned and walked toward Cha Haein. He then used his healing magic. He fully healed all her wounds. This entire act was driven entirely by his own free will. Sung Jinwoo had given him no orders at all. It showed just how kind of soul he had been in life. Looking at his revived friend, White Tiger felt a glimmer of happiness, but he also knew full well that his friend never craved battle in life. So he stepped forward and begged Sung Jinwoo to let his friend rest in peace. Sung Jinwoo heard his plea and said he felt the exact same way. He then walked up to the healer. He raised his hand and lifted the extraction on him. As the healer's body faded away completely, the group snapped back to their senses and rushed to carry the unconscious Cha Haein out of the dungeon. But Sung Jinwoo was nowhere to be found among them. He had decided to stay behind alone to hold the line. After all, there were still countless ant swarms left in the dungeon to deal with. With a single command from Sung Jinwoo, his shadow army immediately launched a full assault on the ants. Once every last ant had been wiped out, Sung Jinwoo turned his gaze to the Ant King's corpse. But just as Sung Jinwoo tried to extract the Ant King's soul, he was suddenly pulled into a strange, unfamiliar space. Before he could even figure out what was going on, he opened his eyes again and was right back in reality. Right after that, a strange noise came from behind him. He turned around. A brand new Ant King stood right before him. When the two finally made it out of the dungeon and back to the surface, they had no idea that chaos had already erupted across the mainland. After losing their leader, the massive ant swarms had gone completely berserk and were flying straight for the mainland. Even with the hunters fighting with everything, they had to stop them. The sheer number of ants was overwhelming. There weren't nearly enough hunters to hold them back. After witnessing everything unfold, Sung Jinwoo immediately sent the Ant King to thin their numbers. With Sung Jinwoo's move, the remaining ant swarms were wiped out in no time. However, footage of Sung Jinwoo's battle against the Ant King had already been broadcast live. Nearly everyone had now witnessed just how terrifying his power truly was. There was no way for him to keep a low profile anymore.